So welcome to my channel, guys. Today's video is a special one. First, because we're starting a series on long distance relationship. I kind of hinted it in our how we met video, but I told you guys that I was going to invite my husband to come here so that we can discuss on the tips that made our long distance relationship work. So welcome to my channel,
Mm-hmm.
babe.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, fun fact, we were meant to start a channel together, but shadows changed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about all the tips that we believe can make your long distance relationship work. For a long distance relationship to work, there has to be good foundation. So everything
Definitely.
we're talking about in this video is just about setting the right foundation. And the number one foundation that I believe makes long distance relationship work is when two healed humans are trying to do it.
For your relationship to be successful,
Mm.
you need two sane people that are in the right frame of mind.
Yes.
It takes two to tango. So,
It really does.
yeah.
And I feel like long distance relationship is another level of complicated when it comes to relationship. So imagine doing that with someone that is not healed. It's just going to be chaotic. It's going
Mm.
to be unnecessary stress and hardship. So I really believe that for you to enjoy a long distance relationship, there needs to be two healed humans. The very next thing that we're talking about is trust. God,
Mm-hmm.
you know when someone tells you, "Oh, babe, I'm going to work." Like, imagine if there's no trust, you're obviously not going to believe that that person is doing what she or he said he was gonna do. So, how important do you think trust is in a long distance relationship?
Okay, I'll say it starts with accountability.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to, start to build trust by accountability.
Mm.
When you say, okay, I'm going somewhere,
Yeah.
you know, for instance, you tell the girl you are talking to, I'm
Yes.
going somewhere, or the man you're talking to, I'm going somewhere.
Mm.
Reason being that in case someone that knows you and knows her,
Yes, you see in that
meets,
place.
and then tells you, oh, I saw your girl in so place. I saw, at the end of the day, you feel cheated, you
Mm.
feel, slighted. So
Yeah.
for building trust, you need to start with accountability.
I believe that trust has two personalities. Like, people have different personalities when it comes to trust. For someone like my husband, when he meets you, he doesn't just trust you. He's going to observe and make sure that you're trustworthy. So that's his trust personality. My trust personality is that I trust. Like, I just am a trusting person. But the problem with people like me is that the moment you give me a reason not to trust you, I there's nothing you can do to repair that trust. Like, most often than not.
Mm.
So I think that for people like him, you need to show over time that you're worthy of being trusted.
Yes.
So, for
It's just
example,
like if you say someone is
you
worthy,
worthy. Do you
you
understand?
have to have proof that,
Proven over
the little you
time.
were given,
Yes, you actually
you,
stewarded over it.
yes, and then you paid back the interest at due time. So it just,
Yes,
that's the way trust works for me.
yes,
I don't just trust people at once or embrace
mm,
people at once. I have to like study
yes.
over time,
And like, that their words fit
Yes,
their action. So it's like, for
definitely.
example, I'll say, "Oh, I'm going for a party with my friends." We'll do video call. It's not out of him trying
Mm,
to be a monitoring spirit, but like, we'll do video call. Somewhere in the back of his mind, subconsciously, he's now saying that yes, this person's
mm,
action matches her word, and then over
yes,
time, you were able to trust that I said what I meant and I meant what I said.
definitely.
The next thing is transparency. For me, transparency is different from honesty, because honesty is when I ask you if you did a thing or about a thing and you tell me the truth. But
Mm,
transparency is when you don't wait for the person to ask you, you just disclose, you just divulge. And I think that in long distance relationship, it's just like that example you gave of when maybe somebody sees your partner in a party or somewhere
yeah,
else. Because of the transparency of me telling you where I am, it's not going to come as a shock. You don't have to now come and start asking me, where
mm,
did you go to? Things
yes,
like
yes.
that. I think
That's what is
transparency,
related to that. What we talked about
trust,
accountability.
yes,
You start to build
accountability.
trust by being
Mm,
accountable.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
for sure. So I
you don't want
think
someone that knows both of you to tell you the girl you are talking with is in
is
so place.
maybe on a
Like,
date with
but
somebody.
we didn't talk about that.
That would be
You're
funny.
supposed to talk about that. It's not until she becomes legally yours that you begin to
Yes,
build trust. Trust is,
It's built
because
over time.
it's the person you trust that you marry.
Yes,
It's not the
yes.
other way
You're not
around.
going to trust somebody with your life,
Yes,
and not
e-
trust them
exactly.
with
How
other
can you marry someone that you
intangibles.
don't trust? You know.
Yes, yes. So I
Mm.
really think that transparency is so important when it comes to
Mhm.
keeping a long distance relationship. So the very next one I would say it goes hand in hand is like the fact that you have to actually like each other and you have to be friends with each other.
Yeah.
Because I feel like long distance relationship is that one relationship that you're going to talk. You're going to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So there's no fluff when it comes to it. There's no questioning. There's no, there are some people that because they're in the same town, they can visit this person's family house. They'll
Hmm.
talk to every other person, but they're not really spending intentional time. But
Yeah.
with long distance relationship, you're always on call, always on video call. So I think that for it to work, you must actually like each other and you
Hmm.
must be friends.
Yes. Yes.
It's so
And one
important.
of the pros
Mm.
to long distance relationship is that it doesn't it kind of takes you away from some distractions so that you can
Yes.
actually talk
Focus.
to the person and know
Yes.
the person's
For who they truly
for who
are.
they truly are in their mind because it's through discussions on
Yeah.
phone calls, video
Mm.
calls, what they think about certain topics, issues,
Yes.
that you get to start to understand them. But when you are all together in
Yeah.
physically, you can be distracted by
Yeah.
the butterflies in your tummies and other
Yeah.
distractions of
Distraction.
outing, fun. You won't actually get enough time to talk more. But when you're
Mm.
in long distance relationship, there's enough ground
Time.
time
Ah, there's
to
time
talk
to
and
talk.
exhaust a lot of
Yes.
topics.
And if you're someone that is thinking, oh, I run out of things to say, one thing that really helped us is the fact that we synced our social media in a way. So we would watch the same thing. Like we're a that couple that we're always sending each other memes and just funny stuff
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. We send each other links on TikTok, on Twitter. And that way it's like you're watching the same thing. So you have things to talk about, you have discussions to do. Like
Definitely.
so with that, first of all, it's a very good way to know people's mindsets on things because if you
Mm-hmm.
bring up an issue and you see how your partner responds to it, you don't even need to ask them, oh, what do you feel about maybe beating? Do you get? You just need
Definitely.
to send maybe a trending social
Mm.
media
And see how they react.
man beats wife thing, and then you see how they react, and then
Those are the small things you
you
get to
use to
know people,
gauge,
how they
yes,
react, how they
yes,
see their point of view about certain topics.
yes,
Tells you who they are.
yes,
You know.
absolutely. This one, we've already kind of said it in friendship, but I was talking about communication.
Yeah.
You have to talk. When it comes to long distance relationship, you're gonna talk and
Mm-hmm.
talk and talk and talk. And this communication is really important. I feel like long distance relationship actually sets you on an advantage when it comes to communication because as you said,
Definitely.
there's no distraction.
Mm-hmm.
You can just keep talking, you can ask questions. In fact, there was a time during our long distance relationship that I went to go and Google 100 questions to ask to your partner while you're
On long distance
yes,
relationship.
and then we would ask questions because I just wanted to make sure that we're covering ground. That the
Yeah,
fact
you
that
are intentional about the
yes, I was
communication.
very intentional. Like we spoke for like a lot, so I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
it to be like we are speaking a lot, but we don't actually know each other.
Yeah.
So we're very intentional about communication.
Mm.
What do you think? What do you
Yeah,
think
even
about
though
communication?
sometimes as a guy, I don't believe in
Talking
20
too much.
20 times, but at least those times we get to talk, we have quality conversations,
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And this leads me to the next thing, which is resolving conflict. When you're in each other's space, if you are annoyed by him, you are uncomfortable because it's like this person is kind of messing with the energy of the environment and you just want it to end. So I feel like people are more inclined to settle disputes when they are in the same location.
Yeah.
But long distance relationship, if you're not careful, you find yourself having issues with your partner like for a long time and not settling it, and it may
Mm-hmm.
end up not working out. I want to remind you of something you said. There's one time I was vexing,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know what? Let's do this thing where a day is not going to pass until we settle that. Like a day must
Mm-hmm.
not pass before we settle any conflict. If not, we'll
Mm.
pay fine. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though you didn't keep to define.
I didn't. I was always
Mm.
the honesty for me. Anyways, but I believe that we need to be intentional, set in people like me that does not need to obey
Mm.
agreements, but like if there's a way you can speed up the resolution of conflict, it will really make the long
Yeah.
distance relationship sweeter and more romantic.
Yeah.
So this next one is about being creative about the romance. So, babe, I want you to can you think of anything you feel like you did to keep be creative, like to keep the romance, since we're not
Okay.
seeing each other physically, to actually be romantic physically.
Okay. Like romantic text messages.
Yes,
You know.
yes. And what I liked about your text messages is that these come out of the blue. So it's not like I,
So
I
you don't
put you on a
expect it.
schedule, like,
You don't expect
yeah.
it.
So it used to like hit different.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
like,
also part of it is when they are doing their birthday or special ceremony, can show
yeah,
up with a surprise.
yeah, it's
If
just
it's
like,
within something you can where you can travel to
yes,
or gift them
yes,
through maybe someone
yeah.
and something like that.
One that you really did was like, you remember my call to bar and then you
Yeah.
showed up. It was a surprise, although this I planned. Imagine person like he came to my parents, like this town I live in Delta State, and he was to surprise me. And then a day before the surprise, he confessed that he came to Delta to surprise me. To be very honest, those were like one of the pointers before that this guy is a trustworthy person, and he's not
Mm.
someone that likes to keep stuff in his mind. Like he's not shady in any way.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a
It was
surprise,
supposed to be so.
but I busted it the day before.
My elder sister was so mad because she was like in on the surprise. She wanted to like catch my
That's because our
reaction.
communication was
It was
so
so good and
good.
so in sync that like,
Because I have to tell you everything, so I don't know. I didn't know when I
yes,
had to
when
tell
you
you I was
feel
down.
I say
Yeah.
Guyama is not for
This guy,
God.
shy.
Anyway, so that really helped. That really made the romance like we weren't seeing each
Yeah.
other, but it's like we're all lovey dovey. Next one that I wanted us to talk about was syncing itineraries. And the reason why I wanted us to talk about that is because I feel like sometimes when you're in a long distance relationship, it almost feels like you're dating yourself. Like, are we really doing this? And I feel like syncing itineraries is one of the things that you can do as a couple to just feel like you're more involved in that person's life. So you know, okay, we are doing this together. In fact, sometimes you may even be cooking in the kitchen, and your guy can also be cooking in his own kitchen based on bachelor style now, and it will just make you guys
Video
feel
calls.
more in sync. Yes, video calls and all that. So,
Mm.
what do you think about syncing itinerary?
Yeah, it's a great way to build intimacy from the get go.
Yes,
You know, intimacy is built from communication,
from
sound
communication.
communication.
Yes, I
So
guess we can even say that this is even like another tip on building communication because when you sync your itinerary, you're able to at each point in time tell what your
mm,
partner is doing, and then you guys are able to just feel like you're more in sync with each other. Next one that I would really suggest is that you guys need to do something that will make you feel more connected. So the examples that I would give is like watch the same podcast. Like you need to find something that both of you do together, and I think that this again would help communication because it will help you to kind of imagine following a show together, for example. Then you guys have something to talk about. Like imagine maybe both of you watch Game of Thrones and like new episodes, just an example, or like new episodes come out. So you just have like something more. You feel like you're connected to each other. Like
yeah,
even for girls that like to watch football, imagine you guys like watch Baka match together and all that. I feel like it will just make people feel like one, feel intimate, connected, and have more things to talk
more
about.
things in common. Despite the fact that you're in a long distance relationship,
Yeah.
you have to be deliberate about seeing each other from
Mm,
time to time. You are in Abuja, for instance,
mm,
and your potential partner is in Lagos.
yeah.
Maybe you can see every 3 months, 4 months, as the case may be, because some people have more busy schedules.
Yeah.
But if you happen to be in
But for
another
anything that is
country,
important to you, you try and make time.
yeah, 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 of course you have to be deliberate about it.
Yeah.
You have to invest in it.
Mm,
You know, if you're maybe in another country,
yeah.
you should at least try to see once a year.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
really support that because there's only so much you can take as a long distance. Like
mm,
sometimes you just need that physical reassurance that yes, this partner is here, this
yeah,
partner is real, what we have is real. And so if it's to put money aside to save towards it, just do it and
mm,
try and visit each other.
yeah. Personally, I do
Yeah.
not recommend long distance relationship,
Yeah, I think I do
or
know. There's a
maybe
caveat.
more of long distance relationship that are long term.
Yes, yes, because I know that a lot of people that have come to watch these videos are people that are really hopeful, like they want to know if it can work.
Hmm.
So I would
If it's a long
say
distance relationship, I I think it should be short term.
yes, which is actually the next point.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think long distance relationship should not be entered into just because. It should be because you guys actually can be in the same city at the same time, and it should be because people are working towards something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think you should just enter a long distance relationship to see how it goes. I
Hmm.
think in the talking phase,
It
you
should
should
be
already
objective.
have, yes, you should already have figured out that, yes, this is the person I would like to spend the rest of my life with.
Hmm.
And then you now say, okay, for this time being, we are doing long distance, but we are working towards ending this. And there should be a time frame. It's not like you should say,
Absolutely.
oh, on the 20th of November it's ending. No, but you know that, okay, within this 6 month space, we're going to be done with this long distance. We're going to get married, or I'm going to move to his city, or he's going
Yeah.
to move to my city.
Yeah. So your
Yeah,
long distance relationship should be objective.
yeah,
You
they
know,
should be.
and you as the man, you are the one who dictates when the relationship is going
How
to
it's
the
going to
next level,
progress.
because
Yes.
you don't expect the lady to be the one to propose to you. You're the one she's waiting for to
To
propose. So
propose to, yes. So
yes,
don't even enter a long distance relationship with someone that you don't see yourself with in the future.
exactly.
I feel like don't even bother. Like it's just it takes too much effort to
It
do
does.
that to somebody that you know that you're not going to end up with.
It does. It's a lot. Because
Yeah.
a lot of emotions, a lot of money,
Yeah.
even long distance. You spend,
Yes.
even though it's long distance. You send them gifts.
Yes. You visit. The
You
visiting
you
takes a lot
spend
of
on
money.
mobile data to call them
Yes.
on video calls and all that.
Yes. Yes. So it
It's
takes
also
a lot.
expensive. So
Yes,
make
yes.
it
So
worthwhile.
make it worthwhile by not entering something
Your
that
your time too.
it matters.
Your time too is money. So
Yes,
it's also something. It's value. So
yes.
don't waste your time
So
on
this does not mean that every
problem.
long distance relationship will lead to marriage. But I
Yeah.
even feel like if you're going to do long distance relationship, maybe take your time a bit more to be friends, to really be
Mm-hmm.
sure that this is what you want, so that you don't end up like dating long distance and it turns out to not be anything that you get.
Yeah.
So and you need to even confirm that your rapport on phone is really good before you even give that a chance, because
Mm-hmm.
on a long distance relationship you go talk tire.
Yeah.
Anyway guys, so these are all our tips that worked for us to make our long distance relationship successful. As you can see, we're married now, so it can be successful if you put in place all these tips.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, so in our next video, we're going to be talking about our long distance love story. And he
Oh.
actually doesn't know how the dynamic is going to be. I'm going to
Oh.
be
Okay.
asking him a bunch of questions. Before we met, before we started our long distance relationship, did you think that long distance relationships were for you? And did you even think that people could successfully meet somebody and get married to the person off a long distance relationship?
Mm. Well.
So what was it about me that made you feel like, yeah, I can give this a try, even though long distance was not
Mm.
your thing? What was your first impression of me? Be honest. Like
Yeah.
when you saw me for the first time, was it hard to translate the love you're already feeling for me over the phone, online, to the physical? So if you'd like to know the answer to those questions, stay tuned for the next video.
All right.
Please permit me to take 10 seconds of your time. If you love the value offered so far in this video, please do me the greatest favor. Please join the 15% of viewers that are currently subscribed to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. It helps us tremendously to send this positive message to the rest of the world.